Hi and welcome to my channel. So today I'm bringing you another layout created with the Like Forever July kit. And this first part of the video is a little bit of showing you how I got the background but also what not to do. So I did put the stencil on the 12 by 12 cardstock and I took it into the garden and I sprayed it underneath the photo where it was a darker yellow is where I sprayed it, but tried to do it at a slight angle so that the hearts would fade out, and that was all good. The problem was I then came back inside with it and decided to then try and wipe it up on my desk, which is a bad idea. It did clean up mainly, though my mat does have a tinge of yellow, so I may have to go and purchase another mat for my desk. But I did like the way the look appeared with the hearts sort of fading out as it went on. And I'm going to use this photo of my son on his recent 15th birthday. So yeah, so the papers wise, I only have scraps of paper left at the moment, to be honest. So I've just pulled out some that are already pre-cut just to see how they'll work, what layers in nicely, etc. I did also then pull out these stickers from Studio Calico, which I picked up in their sale, and tried a few of those layered down. And while I liked it, I didn't love it. I found that the heart design was very much at the top of the page, but I didn't have anything at the bottom. So I felt as though the layout wasn't quite balanced right the way I wanted it to be. So those stickers come back off again, why I try and work out what it is with the layers that I'm not liking. I tend to find that I scrapbook, quite often I tend to scrapbook and get the base layer how I like it, and before I start adding embellishments. So it's at this point I decided to chop off the bottom part that was white, that wasn't doing anything. And I layered it up on black cardstock, and then I layered it up on the spotty paper. And I found that things went a lot better from then on. It tied all the papers together, it tied the background papers together, and it just gave a good base for the photos. So with that in mind, quite a lot of the things I did from then, I was actually brave enough to stick straight away. So I used my Freckle Fawn alphabets that I'd added in from my stash to add in birthday, and then I used one of those Studio Calico word strips because the yellow was perfect for it. I chose the one that said family, so it then says family birthday. This is when I now bring in a few other bits to see what it is I may like and what it is I don't. And I was really liking the touch of black element. So I tried this doily, so I punched out all the little tiny hearts from this doily from the die cut pack. But I don't know whether it was just a little bit not masculine enough. I liked the circle feature, but I wasn't keen on all the scalloped edges. So with that in mind, I went to my trusty punches and I punched out 3 circles, which I think were in the 2.5 inch and 2 inch, though I must admit I'm not quite sure. And that then gave me my base for my 3 different embellishment spots. It was at this point that I spotted the lemons that I'd also edited in from my stash. Now, lemons has absolutely nothing to do with this photo. If anything, my son doesn't like them. But the colours were amazing. So I decided, why not? Who says we can't have lemons on a birthday cake page that has nothing to do with lemons? So I kept the lemons. So that then, formed my clusters. They each had a lemon slice on them. And then I brought in a little hint of the turquoise blue, again in some circles, because that just then echoes across with all 3 colours. And the bottom circle I did chop off. It would have hung over to the bottom of the page, but I didn't quite like it. I did try outlining the blue circles as well, but that wasn't working for me either. So I tried one, didn't like it, so got rid of that and went back to what I had. Up in the top, I've got a little arrow from the die cut pack, and then I think I did bring in, the wooden chipboard word magical that was from a Studio Calico one. And then the last bits really that I did were a lot of finishing touches. So because I'd already punched out all those little black hearts from the doily, if I'd have put them back in my box, they'd have disappeared. So they worked really well on this layout. So I did a little confetti type scattering of hearts across the title area and popped 3 in all the others. And I liked the way that looked. I just felt then that the clusters needed a little bit of something else. So I tried some gold elements from the pack, but I found they weren't quite working. So I brought in my Tim Holtz Tiny Words, and I added a couple of little tiny words to each cluster. So I've got adore, brother, my boy child, and love you, and they're all clustered in there. And then for the last little finishing touch, in a moment you will see I actually brought out my wood box, which is a good idea because I have a lot of wood. So with the wood paper being underneath the photo, I did feel as though that little touch of wood meant that that was there for a reason, if that makes sense, and it does have a place, so it echoed the wood look around the layout. So I've just brought in 3 different little tiny wooden stars across the layout, and I stuck those down again with my little Stampin' Up! Fine line bottle adhesive thing. And there you go, that's how my layout ended looking, and I really like the way I got a boy layout out of this kit. So thank you for joining me, and I'll speak to you all again soon.